All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets across crypto gaming, and more. And we're kind of seeing a wall almost around 23,000, and it's definitely a key level. And are we going to go up, or are we going to take a little bit of a pullback from here? We'll go over a little bit of sentiment from some people in the crypto space. And then we'll talk about some projects that I think that if we continue the rally, still have potential. And I'll even give some potential price points to look out for those projects. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below to Crypto Banter for shows here every single day on the channel. Like the video if you enjoy the content. If you're bullish on the future of Web3 and crypto gaming, metaverse, AI, just like we are here on the channel as well. Let's go ahead and also shout out our top tier sponsors here on the show. Animoca Brands, the biggest Web3 gaming company in the world, and 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗃, onboarding the most Web3 games in the space by far. Like, they are bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3, and really the two biggest in the space, Animoca Brands and 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗃. Check them out down below in the description. And we're seeing Bitcoin, as I said, hit a wall around 23,000. We have people like, let's just say, Luke Belmar. He's saying short the orange Ponzi, and he's been an avid crypto investor for a long time, but he's saying, right now is the time to short. A lot of people are euphoric, and a lot of people are thinking that this could potentially be, where we are potentially going to continue to rally, right? Maybe get up to 25K. Some are even calling for 30K. The bears love it, right? The bears right now are saying short, right? But then when we're going over, people like Jeff Seckinger saying, could we be at the bottom for the stock market in crypto? And he gives his reason why, talking about inflation has topped and is heading lower. Talking about how rate hikes are diminishing, and some other macro factors here with the S&P, with Bitcoin, the time between cycles, etc. So I don't really think there's a perfect way to navigate it. And guys, if you didn't pick the bottom, like, there's no need to completely fret. Now, we're looking at still under $25,000 Bitcoin in a landscape of years to come in this industry. And I think that we could see some sort of a rally up to 25 to 30,000 in this rally, but I think it could take time. We could take a little bit of a pullback in the short term, and that would only be healthy. But there will be some projects to definitely look out for here in that time period. I think if we continue the upswing, and I told you guys, I'm going to give price points that I'm looking at. And you cannot give round numbers. This is where the market and you can't pray for the 25K or the 30K on the dot. You can't ask for $2,000 Bitcoins, or $2,000 Ethereum even. That's going to be the profit. Everyone's saying that, right? So when I'm looking at Ethereum, I would probably look for somewhere around 1,900 to 1940, something like. I think we could potentially touch 1900 if we continue going upwards on Ethereum. Everyone's going to be looking for that 2000, and it's going to kind of be like Bitcoin. When it gets to these critical levels, it's going to have a hard time approaching over that. But I think anything. I really do think 1900 is in play for ETH here in the next, I would say, couple of weeks. Vulcan Forge has crossed $4. Everyone knows Vulcan Forge is my #1 crypto gaming project by far. 12 games coming to the platform. Jamie Thompson, once again, another killer AMA this week, and we'll talk about it in just a second. And it's really fighting $4 range. And if it busts through this $4 range, and the stock market today, the S&P is looking really bullish. When I was looking, just through the charts on everything today, I noticed that the traditional markets were looking very solid today. So especially if the traditional markets continue to rally, we're going to have some altcoin opportunities here. And I would be looking for Vulcan Forge to potentially get upwards to $4.80 potentially in the short term. And I don't want to, I think $5 would be a critical level at this moment in time, but I think 480 would be a definite range to look out for, and is realistic for PYR to touch in this little rally. And whenever we're looking at, this is just the pre-alpha, basically, of the Metascapes builder platform, right? So Metascapes, they're going to be able to bring games, and you'll be able to play those games, and they'll be very well tailored. And this is just the building platform. But as we see here, this is where you can go in and completely customize all your environments in the Vulcan Forge ecosystem. But this is not Vulcanverse. It is a completely different engine, as Jamie explains in this AMA. And you go in here and you actually completely build these environments from scratch. And it almost does feel like you're building these immersive, I would say, RuneScape, World of Warcraft style environments. And when you're seeing this is pre-alpha, and a lot is going into this. 𝗵𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗄𝗁, this is the reason they got involved with Vulcan Forge. And according to Jamie, they have been, building metaverses for time, like for multiple projects. So definitely bullish on the Metascapes platform to see where that goes and the advancements in the graphics over time. Also, PYR Vulcan Forge says we have something exciting to announce this week. Every time, traditionally, when they do have something to announce, they're usually not bluffing. There's going to be something big coming. Maybe it's the node NFT airdrops. Maybe it's something with the Elysium chain. We know there's a lot coming regarding the Elysium blockchain. So we will see what this announcement is. And I think if we hold above $4 and continue to break through $4, PYR has a ton of upside. And let's talk about one that I just recently started accumulating, and it would really just be based on the sentiment right now, and that is ApeCoin. I think ApeCoin, looking at looking at the future, Yuga Labs, they brought in the CEO of Activision Blizzard. Other Side Metaverse is going to be one of, I think, the best metaverse experience so far. Not that much of a fan of Sandbox's game, not that much of a fan of Decentraland at all. I feel like I'm lagging all over the map and I can't even do anything when I play Decentraland. It's just not a great user experience. I think Other Side Metaverse has that opportunity. And with the Activision Blizzard ex-CEO at the helm of Yuga Labs now, 𝗐𝗐 just released. Don't laugh. It's the real name of the game. 𝗐𝗐 just released here, and it's gotten a lot of good sentiment, and a lot of the community is honestly loving it. They're all going for their high scores. As you see here, you're kind of roaming through an environment. It's definitely, so these are the sewer passes that you can get from the Bored Ape ecosystem. And, this is getting great feedback from everyone who's played it. And they've said it's one of the best gaming experiences in the Web3 space. So I love everything that Yuga Labs is doing. And I think having a stake in a company like Yuga in Web3 for the future, and especially up for the next run, is something that, will be advantageous. I would look for around $6 to $7 for ApeCoin, honestly. Above $6 and around $7 for ApeCoin potentially in the short term if we get up to those 24, 25K levels, because this 23 range right now is very critical. Either the bulls or the bears are going to take control after 23, and we're going to get either a pullback or we're going to get a little bit of a pump. And I think we're going to pull back, but I do not think that this rally is over. Truly, I think that we potentially have seen the recent local bottoms, and I don't think we're going to really get back to those $15,000 levels that we saw a few weeks ago or a month ago anytime soon. But I also don't think that this rally is over. You will have opportunities, and especially if Bitcoin breaks above this 23 level and really just holds and maintains. So we will see how the market trends, but I'm more of the opinion of 𝗵𝗵𝗃. I see the trends going on in the economic. I am thinking that, we might have seen the bottom. We have seen recession priced into traditional markets, even though we haven't seen real estate really take that much. It's taking a hit, but it's not taking the biggest hit. This isn't like 2008. They don't repeat identically. They do play out in different ways. And there is a debt crisis, no doubt about it, in America and the US economy. But right now, the market was due for a rally. And if the S&P continues, stuff like ApeCoin, I would really look for potentially $7. I think $7, $6.90, $7 is really in play here for ApeCoin in the short to mid term. And then looking at the rest of the watch list here, guys, Ultra is getting some action from 21 to 26. So that's about that's a 25% gain this week from Ultra. So really good to see that. We've been saying that 20 cent level was a great accumulation point for Ultra. And I think in the future, with the amount of games coming to the platform, 150 games, 150 games coming to the platform, that's the best way to go. And Rand talks about it And I completely agree with this sentiment. We talk about it here on the show. The way that you should go about it is not trying to pick a single game out of a bunch of games and figure out this one's going to be the biggest, that one's going to be the biggest. I'm going to put all my money in one single game, one single product, when you could look at an ecosystem like an Ultra, like a Vulcan Forge, like a Gala Games, these big titans, these big ecosystems from these games with 150 products coming from Ultra, the NFT marketplace and everything. I really think that is, still a no-brainer investment. Yeah, Web3Me. I mean, I just got into ApeCoin. I literally just got into ApeCoin, and so this is an addition because I haven't really been bullish on Ape in the past, but I think that after seeing the overwhelming sentiment of what they've produced with Dookey Dash and what they've also brought on board with the Activision Blizzard CEO, this is the first time I've mentioned being bullish on ApeCoin. So. That is definitely an addition. Seedify has been hovering around $1, another critical level. But I think if, I really do think that if we see this rally continue, we're going to see these IGOs want to push their coins out. I know a lot of people that are smart and savvy, the whales, they're accumulating the launch pads. They're getting ready. A lot of people that are launch pad people, they're getting ready. They're staking their coins again, and they want to be ready for whenever those IGOs come out, and they can have that first access to some pre-sales in a bullish market where people could potentially be chasing fast gains, and they can have those quick gains from the launch pad sales. So Seedify always has that upside, as well as their upcoming mount sale. With everything they're doing with the SNFTs platform, really bullish on Seedify. And then we're taking a look. If anyone I'll just give a shout out because earlier this week we said Ocean Protocol was the undervalued play in the AI space. And as we see here, Fetch is only now up 23%, and we said that Fetch had 3x. We talked about how Singularity had 5x. And right now, guys, we're seeing how Ocean Protocol is up 41% this week. And ever since we called Ocean Protocol, it's now sitting at I believe that would be a 20% gain since we called it. So good to see there as well. But guys, overwhelmingly, I think that this rally is not over. And I think there's still a lot of opportunity to capitalize on in the future. And in the short term, I don't think that you've completely missed the rally, but wait for a pullback because I think it's imminent. I don't think we're about to just burst. Like I'm long in the short term in my perspective and in my recent investments, right? I think that we will see a continuation of this rally, but I think you might see a little bit of a pullback and a little bit lower prices to be able to snipe some better entries. And then we get that rally back upwards, right? Things don't just go up only in a bull and things don't just go down. It took a long time to hit the bottom. It's going to take a long time to hit the top if the rally continues. I don't think it's left you behind, and I'm bullish at the moment. I do think that a lot of things have been priced into the market. Yes, Andrew. Yes, absolutely. Because I've had my positions. We've been talking on the show every single day about how we've had our positions in these projects like Polygon, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Vulcan Forge, Ultra, etc. And we have been long in the short term. And I still am bullish in the short term. I'm not getting out of my position. We will have a little bit of a pullback, whether it's to 22.5, whether maybe it's to the low 22s. I think a pullback is definitely in play. But that does not mean that the rally stops, because a couple days of a pullback, the rally could just continue, right? But if the traditional markets continue to rally like we see today, we are not going to see a pullback in the short term. I think a lot of things rely on the traditional markets in that regard, but the traditional markets are getting some pretty good action today. So I don't see that pullback being that heavy if we see it. But yeah, I'm long in the short term. I think that, 24, 25,000 is in play. And if we burst above 25, 27 is probably the next level I would be looking for, because, and if 27 lands, we're going to see altcoins that we just talked about, like Vulcan Forge, like Ultra, like Seedify. These projects are going to absolutely explode in that regard. And then you would be able to trickle down to those low caps, I would say, like the WASDers of the world. Potentially WAGMI Games is one that, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 chips to the mid caps to the blue chips to the altcoins, like the top 50 to 100s to the mid caps. and then to the low cap altcoins. And if we see that continuation, which I think we will over the next couple of weeks, I think this rally will play out. Be patient with your positions, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm long in the short term. And my opinion on Nakamoto Games, good project. I'm not involved or, kept in tune with their ecosystem as much, but I have been seeing they are making some moves. So that's good to see. That is good to see. Decentraland reminds me of The Sims. Man, I agree. That is just... it's not a great experience and it lags. I have a great gaming PC and it can't, it's the worst experience, honestly. Sorry, Decentraland, if you're watching this, but that's just my opinion, and we're going to keep it straight with you always here on In the Game. But I am definitely bullish, guys. Be patient. There could be a pullback in the just the short term, especially after a huge day in the stock market. But if the traditional market opens up again tomorrow bullish, we could see a push through that 23,000 level and really see some new local highs and try to push towards those 24, 25,000 levels. So guys, I will catch you guys tomorrow on the next edition of In the Game, and we'll see where this market and the S&P plays out when the market opens back up tomorrow. So we will see on tomorrow's show. Like the video if you enjoy. Dr. Benny, no, I am not bullish on Ron. I am not bullish on Ron. I don't think that enough games are coming to Ronin and building on their chain. I saw that question. I saw that question come in, and I wanted to answer that. No, I'm not bullish on Ron, and I think that if more games were flocking to 𝗨𝗵𝘆 to try to build on the chain, and if you guys don't know, Ron is Ronin, and that is the blockchain that powers Axie Infinity. No, I'm not bullish on Ron. Like the video if you enjoyed the video, and if you are bullish on the markets and bullish on crypto gaming, just like I am, leave your comments down below. Are we going down? Or are we going up from here? Is a short-term pullback in play, or will the traditional markets continue to take us to a higher level? I will catch you guys on tomorrow's show. Like and subscribe. As always, play well, my friends.